Borderlands previews are landing, and it sounds like the king of the looter shooters is back. But there are some questions that are still lingering with the obvious Destiny influence. Will this become a live service game? Now, I'm going to quickly go through the high points from the previews. I'm also going to look at what has been said about DLC and post-launch content to see if there is any hints about whether or not this thing is going to be live service. If you like these quick videos, please make sure and hit the like button and the subscribe button and stick around for those live stream discussions. So first, the story and the humor. This was a major point of concern from fans of Borderlands. They really felt that Borderlands 3 went way out in left field and was kind of cringy and seemed like a walking meme and satire. This is going to be a lot more grounded and a lot more darker. The humor is going to be more in line with that darker story. So it seems they did take the feedback on Borderlands 3 and made those adjustments. And I think that's good. It means that they are wanting to make a game that people want to play and that people are interested in the story. I don't know if we're ever going to get sort of a return of a baddie as good as Handsome Jack, but it's looking very promising hearing that. Now, we're also hearing this is being described as sort of a soft reboot. It's being described as the best Borderlands to date. There's new lore, there's new gameplay that sort of is adding to that reboot feel. And I was telling folks after they did that showcase and I sort of saw some of the Destiny influence and things that we'll get to in a second, I said, I think they nailed it. From what I can tell, they've got the best Borderlands on their hands, and that's what we're hearing from the previews. And part of that is the movement and the combat. Movement has apparently been totally overhauled. You've got double jump, glide, grappling hooks, and swimming. And I think that is one area that I'm really excited to see how that plays out in the gameplay. One of the things I never really liked all that much about Borderlands is it's a bit of a face tank. You don't really have a lateral dodge. You don't really have that volition as the player to move around, and so you just kind of stand and shoot a bunch. And I think that'll really add to the experience. Now, on the subject of it being a Destiny-like game, there's sort of like side content, side activities. There's events sort of in the world, like dynamic events that feel very much like Destiny. You can also summon your vehicle like anytime, anywhere, very similar to the Sparrow in Destiny. But it doesn't sound like they're trying to be a Destiny killer, which is very good. You don't want to do that. That's very ill-advised. I would never set your sights on wanting to do that. They're doing a bang-up job of killing Destiny on their own. Set your sights on just being a really, really good Borderlands, and can't have a good Borderlands game without boss fights. We're hearing that the boss fight in the preview is the most complex and the most sort of mechanics-based, mechanics-rich fight in the history of the franchise, which is great because I think that's another area where that should dovetail well with the movement and the increase in making the combat feel better. But the million-dollar question, honestly, that you're probably wondering, a lot of us are wondering, is this going to be a live service game? Or are they going to try to do like an ongoing format? Now, Randy Pitchford has said a handful of things that I think will be instructive here. Number one, he said there is, quote, a ton of awesome DLC that they have planned that's coming. He said, quote, there will be a range of free and paid content post-launch. He also said this, they are, quote, pulling out all stops on our end for endgame and post-launch commitment for Borderlands 4. So they're looking on their endgame, they're looking at post-launch, they want all those things to be very good. Now, this sounds to me like they're doing what they've always done. Okay, they're going to go with a classic DLC approach. They're going to have like maybe those smaller free events like Halloween and Christmas things that they've done in the past. But this doesn't seem to sound like any live service buzzwords are being used. Now, maybe they're just avoiding those buzzwords because they know live service is kind of stigmatized. We're going to have to wait and see. We need an official roadmap and sort of word from Gearbox. But the current verbiage being used, the way Randy has been talking about the game, this does not sound like it will be a live service or a game as service model, which I think is a smart play. I think you can do ongoing content and maybe get better engagement and more money if you're not making people feel like they have to live in your game. So what do you think? Is the game back? Does this sound promising to you? Do you think they could do live service? Would Borderlands 4 even work as a live service game? I don't think so. So let me know in the comments below. And as always, stick around for those live streams, those discussions. Hit like, share, and subscribe so I can see you in the next video.